How's it going, guys? This is Street Level Spirituality coming at you with another video for Sagittarius Astro-Tarot, May 2020. Yep. Alright guys, how you guys doing? I know things are wacky out there, but everyone taking care of themselves, staying tuned in, being loving, being kind, finding new directions, reflecting on who you really are, where life's going to go from here, how to not get caught up in all the fear tactics and all the wacky out there. Interesting time, right guys? Keep taking care of yourself, place your roots in a good place, and it will grow with a good, strong foundation. Invest in lame people who don't care about you. You'll find out the results. We don't want that. Sagittarius, the most fun-loving sign of the zodiac in my opinion. Some of the most fun people to be around. My buddy Rob is a Sagittarius. There's never a time we're not laughing, smiling, giggling, having a good time. So really appreciate a Sagittarius in my life. Thank you for joining me. What we're going to do is our usual format, which is, now it's live. We're streaming on Twitch right now. We'll push that over to YouTube for the YouTube viewers. So we're streaming live. The show format is introduction. We're going to do the musical shuffle where I play a song that I've made while I shuffle the cards, just as an opportunity to kind of sample a little bit of music, share about a little bit who I am. I do spiritual music in all sorts of forms, dance music, heavy music, hip hop, all sorts of fun stuff. Just a fun little thing we do. Then we'll get into your astro weather, where we'll talk about the different aspects that are happening in the month. And then we'll do your personal tarot reading for the month. Let's go ahead and hook up the musical shuffle now. It's a great part of the song. Here we go. This is Vapor. Music shuffle. You gotta feel the spirit, right? What spirit is there in being overly intellectual? You gotta shake your butt, guys. Feel the spirit. Don't let the fear take you, man. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. I was thinking about cats meowing that part. And thank you for joining me for this month's version of the musical shuffle featuring the song Vapor by Magic, which is my house music name on SoundCloud. Magic with an asterisk. Go to Dustin Byerly on SoundCloud. You can find it. It's really hard to find on its own. Click the link below. I don't know. Have fun. Check it out if you like it. Let's get into the astro weather for the month. So this month we've got 3 retrogrades happening. I don't think anything really too bing-banging for you guys. We're going to pull up the chart.
Feel like you're dreaming.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm dreaming all the time. Astro Split Screen View, brought to you by Time Passages Software. Not brought to you because I spent a lot of money on that thing. I think I spent like a grand total with all the different charts and aspects. And if you guys need one, let me know. I do natal charts, I do birth charts, compatibility readings, relationship reports, look at your personal chart, get you all dialed in, send you a PDF. We can do a Zoom conference call and let you all know all about what's happening in your life, what's coming up from a real talk, spiritual point of view, no fluffy bullshit. I ain't into that. I ain't into it. This is May 1st, 2020. We have, if you look over there on the 6 o'clock position, we have Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn ganging up on each other, giving each other piggyback rides. And then, most important, at the beginning of the month, we've got, if you look around the 6 o'clock position there, we've got the planet Jupiter, which is red, yellow, Mercury, and the sun, which is a circle with a dot in it, which kind of makes sense. It looks like a sun, right? So we got a gangbang going down there between the sun, Mercury, and Jupiter. Moving into the month, on May 1, we've got Mercury conjunct Uranus and Taurus, with the sun there too, like I just said. The month starts off with Mercury conjunct Uranus and Taurus, and people are going to be talking about what's going on with all these changes. Now, when we say all these changes, what we're talking about is Uranus and Taurus. Uranus entered Taurus in March of 2018, kicked it off with some earth changes with the volcanoes in Hawaii starting to pop off. Should be an indication of kind of what's to come until 2026. The last time Uranus was in Taurus was from 1934 to 1942, which you will recall with highlights such as the Great Depression, World War II, and lots of earth changes, the Dust Bowl, and other exciting things that affected humanity on an earth level very directly with powerful changes. This is a time when Uranus, the planet of sudden changes, being in Taurus, which rules things of the earth and beauty and love and things of that sort, are suddenly and quickly transformed for 8 years. So lots of changes, lots of big changes. It's not to say that we're going to go through the Great Depression again, but it's going to get weird. We're seeing it already with this virus thing. Society is transforming. It's not over. This is just the beginning of lots of changes. But everything has a polarity to it. It's important to see things for what they are. Now, the news would make you believe that, you should just be freaking the fuck out 24 hours a day. Now, it's not a very popular view, and people who are more pragmatic might think this is absolutely fucking bonkers. But if you read and you really study the ancient text, there's all sorts of reference to interesting things that you won't see in the canonized Bible, you won't see in mainstream belief. And I think primarily because it just freaks people out. But, Rudolf Steiner, the great Austrian philosopher, is one of the few people that spoke about this, and I was surprised because through my own studies I came to the same conclusion that we live in a multidimensional reality. We can experience this firsthand through our own observation, right? So we have multisensory, those are dimensions of sense. We have thought, right? We have thoughts, feelings, emotions. We have our intuition, the things that we just know. I think when we're younger, that's more prominent. As we get older, our mental processes kind of start dominating that experience and kind of talking us out of our own inner knowledge and inner knowing. And then as we reach midlife, around 40, we have some planetary aspects with Uranus opposition Uranus and some other ones that really bring us back into our personal truths. And then we spend the rest of our lives either ignoring who we really are in our personal truths, trying to be young again and basically destroying ourselves, or we move into our state of knowing and spiritual growth, and we relinquish the riches of our youth in return for the wisdom of our getting older. I'm just not the best with words sometimes. Anyway, but the point is that it's a time when we need to get real about future directions. So anyway, yeah, back to the whole Mercury conjunct Uranus and Taurus is that there's going to be a lot of social dialogue coming up, a lot of mental processes, and there's going to be a larger conversation around what's going on right now. And I think that some of this can actually be symbolized by Mercury, which is communication, and talking about these issues is this whole big streaming thing. All of a sudden with this big movement of people streaming and wanting to connect outwardly, new communication model that's coming to the masses. There's going to be changes, guys. There's going to be changes in the earth. There's going to be changes in the beauty industry. A lot to be excited about, and then also things to just be careful with also. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, yo. All right, Sag, May the 4th, Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you. We have Sun conjunct Mercury in Taurus. On Star Wars Day this year, the ships are grounded. With the Sun illuminating Mercury in Taurus, the way we communicate and think is very beautiful, articulate, and grounded. So, great day to reach out to a friend, someone you haven't talked to in a while, have a good heart-to-heart conversation with someone. It'll be meaningful, purposeful, and beautiful. So, make sure you schedule someone to reach out to on May 4th. May 7th, we have the full moon in Scorpio. This is one shade of a sign off from you. I don't think you're going to be resonating with this thing all too much, but it's a time when we become aware of areas in our life where we've not really been there for our own deeper needs, and in discovering areas where we've kind of struggled with getting our needs met. Now, I know this on a personal level in a lot of ways because I just feel like, you know, I there's a lot of isolation in general, I guess, for everyone, but you know, we're looking to see like, man, what are we going to do to get these needs met? And, you know, for some people, they can be sexual, it can be friendships, it can be career fulfillment, it could be physical, you know, but we'll typically hit kind of a breaking point with something, you know, or a limitation where we just can't handle the limitation anymore. And then we're forced to kind of look and see what we can do to get our needs met. Now, we want to do this in a healthy way. There may be areas where we've judged ourselves or judged things that we feel like we need, but society doesn't allow us to do it. Maybe we want to dress like a girl. Maybe you want, you know, I don't even know what people are into these days, man. It seems like everyone's into something, right? But, you know, find a way to get your needs met. You know what I mean? Reach out. There's always ways to connect with people. Be honest about what your needs are. Some people are going to be there for you. Some people are not. Sometimes it's more of a personal thing, whatever it is. Like, don't feel guilty or bad about who you are. Be stoked about who you are, man. I remember one day I really wanted to wear a red scarf around my neck, and people looked at me like I was wacky, you know? I'm like, oh, whatever, man. I just felt like I needed to do it. So take care of yourself. May 11th, we have got our first retrograde of the month, and that is Saturn Retrograde in Aquarius, and then it'll go backwards into the sign of Capricorn, which it was in recently. This is a time to really look at your friendships and see which friendships are working for you and which friendships are not working for you. It's going to be a time to weed the garden. Saturn's going to put that burden of responsibility on you to respond to that situation, and really identify which friendships you want to keep and which ones you want to get rid of. Also, with Saturn retrograde, it's a good time to be aware that when Saturn slows down, depending on how it aspects your chart, it can be a time where work opportunities slow down a little bit. So over the summer, and this goes, I think, till September 29th, it's a good time to, if you've got a little money, put it aside, put a little extra aside, you might need it. So good thing to be aware of. After that, we have a couple days later on May 13th, we have the planet Venus entering the sign of Gemini. Venus being the planet of love and beauty, entering Gemini, which is very intellectual and chatty and talkative and mentally stimulating. Now, that same day that Venus enters Gemini, Venus also goes into retrograde. Retrograde is a time of reflection. It's a time of it's not a time of forward action in the themes around Venus, but it's a time to reflect on themes of Venus. Now, in this particular configuration with Venus in retrograde until June 25th, it's a time that you don't want to take on too many responsibilities in your relationships, because the dynamics in your relationships are not going to necessarily reflect your true values or your true intentions in the long run. So, and Venus retrograde also is not a great time to be getting into relationships. You don't want to be starstruck by somebody and then run off to Las Vegas and get married, because when it comes out on June 25th, when it comes out on June 25th, you're not going to feel the same way. And the music just said I'm changing my mind right when I said that. So there's your confirmation, right? This is also an interesting configuration in Gemini, because there can be third-party situations, three ways, weird sexual desires, you know, all this stuff kind of popping up, and which is great. Have fun, but you know, just know that it affects people in the long run, and just be honest and clear about whatever your intentions are, whatever you're doing. You might be attracting people that you wouldn't usually attract, or people that usually wouldn't be attracted to you are attracted to you. Again, things will change come June 25th. You won't feel the same way. People will end up going their own ways, and then you have to live with the results of whatever is intended. So just be mindful about that. That said, let's see here. Next day, we have the third retrograde of the month, which is Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn until September 13th. This is a similar type of energy where it's like a positive planet that is inspiring you to take action, but it's retrograde, so it's kind of a time to be more reflective, not so outwardly. You don't want to interact with the outside world in ways that are too committed. You're not going to feel the same way later. The visual I got with Jupiter in retrograde in Capricorn until September 13th is this visual of kind of putting your bathing suit on, going out to the beach, standing by the water, looking sexy and cute, and this big wave comes up and knocks you over from behind and exposes you. Your bathing suit comes off, whatever. So this is really an area that has to do with work, and you really want to look at areas where you're being a little too overconfident, areas that you could really grow in. Jupiter is expansive, so you're going to feel really like, I've got these big ideas, I want to do these big things, I want to do all these things, and then it's kind of like coaxing you to be your worst self, you know, to be your highest ego self, and then you're going to get caught with your pants down, and you're going to learn a lesson. So what you want to do here is you want to reflect on areas that we can really grow, learn to listen. Don't do any shortcuts. Like, really take the time to listen to clients, listen to coworkers, see what they're saying, and really respond from the point of view of considering what they're saying instead of just jumping to conclusions and throwing your weight around, because this one will bite you in the ass. So Jupiter is bound to expose you this summer if you haven't checked yourself at work in a while. Take your time to evaluate every situation with a magnifying glass, and take some personal time to reflect on areas you can grow professionally. So just have a little insight there. That's May 14th, middle of the month. Again, lots of big changes middle of the month. Again, between, you know, the 11th and the 14th, you've got major retrogrades and full moons and all that crap. So May 20th, about a week later, the sun enters the sign of Gemini, so happy birthday, Geminis. If you have any aspects in Gemini, the sun will illuminate them. So look at your chart. In general, the energy for everyone will be more excited, more fun-loving. You're going to be ready to get out and explore the world in your minds. You want to create new experiences for yourself. So people might feel a little stifled for a while here, or it could be an indication that things are starting to open up with this whole virus thing around mid to late May, and then a lot more opportunities to connect and have adventures will come your way, or just feeling really stifled and wanting to get adventurous and finding creative ways to do that. May 28th, end of the month, we've got the planet Mercury entering the sign of Cancer. Mercury being the messenger, the communicator, the mental processes, entering the sign of Cancer, which is nurturing, loving, and sweet. Really considers other people's feelings and wants the best for other people. So with this position, in general, everyone's memory is going to be improved. Emotions have a really important role in the decisions that you make in your relationships with other people. So it's a good time to have difficult conversations, because they're going to be more sensitive and considerate to other people. So if you have anything big to talk about, wait till the end of May. That's a great time. We don't have any Mercury retrogrades or anything like that. It's just a really sweet time to connect with someone. So anyway, that is your astro weather for the month of May 2020, Sagittarius. And let's get into your tarot reading. We already did the musical shuffle earlier. What I did want to say is that if you have the opportunity to like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. If you don't follow me on Twitter, sign up on Twitter, press the purple follow button at the top, and that will send you notifications when I go live. So if you want to check out the live streams, you can chat, talk to me, whatever you want to do that. And then also on Facebook, I've got original writings and content there that's completely different than what I do on YouTube and Twitch. So head over to Facebook, Street Level Spirituality. I think it should be in the links below. Check it out. And if you like any of the music, it's all my original music. I make all this music from scratch, no samples, maybe a couple samples here and there, but mostly all original music from total scratch. And house music, heavy music, fun music, spiritual music. Check it out on SoundCloud, links below. Thank you so much for letting me tell you that message. Let's head over to the Tarot split screen view and let's see what's going on with Sagittarius for May 2020. Now, the way that I do readings is a lot of people will tell you kind of what you want to hear. What I do is I tell you the truth based on how I see it. I feel like it's important to see the difficult stuff ahead of time so we can quickly take action to remedy the situation. So for you this month, let's go ahead and restack here. For you this month, the nature of your reading, Sagittarius, is going to be around the theme of the Ace of Pentacles, which, congratulations, you have the best reading so far just based on this alone. So we'll see what your outcome is. But you got the Lovers in reverse here. Okay, so there's this new beautiful opportunity being presented to you with the Ace of Pentacles. And let's check the stream real quick here. Yeah, everything's looking good. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles. There's some issues with values with someone else. In the spiritual realms, which is your angelic message, you have the King of Pentacles. So, I mean, wow, like ace in it. There's something you're doing that's really working. Oh, I see. You've been working really hard. That's what you've been doing. This is your recent past. You've been working really hard, and it's really paying off. This is your subconscious realms. This is the unrealized portions of what's motivating us. And you're just feeling really motivated to overcome some obstacles here. I mean, damn, you're having a good reading so far. Let's just get your cards out, then we'll talk about this. The Chariot. These are changes that are coming in the future that you can't come back from. This is a whole new direction. I just see really great things coming for you. Now, for some people, this is going to be literal and physical in the material world. You can be jobs, opportunities, things like that. For some people, this is going to be on the spiritual realms. This is going to be on how you see yourself in the world. Some new freshness of inspiration that comes your way. And let's get your outcome card here. Oh my gosh, wow. Lots of pentacles, lots of giving, lots of love. I mean, I just feel like you've really been responsible in what you've been creating. You know, this is somebody who's very in touch with their masculine side, the masculine polarity of creation, because to be able to have this level of fruition come your way, you need to be very clear about what you're intending in the world. And so you're not harming yourself or others in the process of what you're intending. Wealth does not stick around for those who kind of squabble or have ill intention in what they intend. Intention is like the seed, right? It's like the sperm. It's what gets the party started. And once that party started, it don't stop. You got to raise that kid. You got to live with the consequences. So somebody who's wealthy is well intended in what they're doing. They're very strong in their masculine self. They're aware of their wisdom. They respond to the shadow of things and take action to bring something to fruition in a healthy manner and make sure it's well manicured and nurtured and taken care of. Now let's go into getting a little closer view here and get into this a little bit more. So Ace of Pentacles, I mean, in the material realms, this is about as good as it gets. This means that there's something from the spiritual realms that's offering you something really, really powerful. It's hands like coming right out of the sky, and it's just like, yo, dog, I got you. Here's the winning lottery ticket, so to say. So this is manifestation. This is new opportunity. This is prosperity. You know, boom, boom, boom. So something's coming your way. Something's coming your way, or this is what you're thinking about. The Lovers in reverse is what's influencing this, is that there's been some sort of disconnect in values with other people or with something, and it's like you're kind of like, your self-confidence is really coming up here, and something's coming your way here. It's a conflict of values, or you're finding your own, you're breaking out and finding your own value system and the richness of that. You may have been living by someone else's narrative. Now, typically in society, what we have is society tells us kind of our value system, or prescribes it to us, and so do the people around us. And as we get older, and as we have these insights, we can start to recognize that if we don't feel good about what's happening, that certain value systems are not for us. So, I think it's a really good opportunity for you guys to really start determining your own value system. Now, in my regular career, I do a lot of brand development, which has to do with identity. There's a lot of spiritual and philosophical overlap. To create values, to have 3 to 5 values that you live no matter what that really means is that they're things that you'll never compromise, in any situation. Even if it means that 5 people around you are going to like you or whatever it might be, your values are things that you're unwilling to compromise on. And what happens is that when you live those values, that becomes your character, right? So it's really important to kind of pick a handful, even if it's just a couple, but you only pick things that you can truly adhere to, right? And that creates a consistent character. And it's a consistent character for people around you, but it's also a consistent character for yourself, and your sense of identity grows strong. And they need to be things that are not intellectualized or prescribed to you. They need to be things that you discover for yourself about who you really are, what you really value. And then what happens is that as you live those values and your character develops, it builds more trust with yourself and others, your level of confidence arises, right? Now, make sure you take the time to identify what those values are. Message from the spiritual realms. The King of Pentacles. This is the master of resources, right? This is somebody who knows how to balance what their output is and their input is. This is somebody who's mastered the material realm so well that they're able to share their resources. There's an overabundance of resources because they've been mindful about what they intend and how they manage their resources. They understand that extremes lead to loss, right? So we don't go too far any direction. We don't hoard. We don't give away too much. We're in a constant state of give and take. It's a divine state of give and take. And the same is true with our emotions, with our minds, right? We don't let fear, which is concern, consume us, but we do respond to the shadow. The shadow always points to where the sun will rise again. And same with compassion. If we're compassionate to everyone, we can smother somebody, and they can live in the shade too much and not grow. So the King of Pentacles understands this on many levels intuitively, and he responds appropriately. And because of that give and take, that real finely tuned vibration, abundance becomes pouring forth in every manner. So this is your spiritual message. This is the message for Sagittarius for the month of May, is that how do we fine-tune that slight give and take, that we keep consistent in the moment, that reaps great reward. We don't go too far in any direction. We keep it tight, right? All right, there's your message from the spiritual realms. Now, in the recent past, you've been really honing in on your craft, whatever this is. Now, with so many pentacles in this chart, I really feel like this has to do with your own inner confidence developing or actual job material resources. Most often, both go hand in hand. So you've done a really good job of honing your craft to get to this point. Now, the subconscious realms is the area of us that's in the muscular tissue. It's from the deep past. And sorry, I need a little bubbly there. There's some sort of vision or idea of some obstacle that you're overcoming. And this may be literal, some sort of memory, some sort of behavior from the past that you're overcoming. There could be some emotional from the past that not doesn't necessarily reflect what's actually happening now in this reality. So just be aware that if you feel like there's these huge obstacles and it's triggering all these emotions in you, really make sure you put it in place in the proper context and not let it overwhelm you. Coming up in the near future, we have something from the Major Arcana, which is the Chariot. Anytime we have something in the Major Arcana, that means it's a big life step that will never go backwards again. It's something that propels you in some new direction, and it's forever changed. Now, the Chariot's an interesting one. It's about willpower. It's about assertion, determination. And this is a really beautiful card for you right now, because right next to the Ace of Pentacles, this is saying not only have you received the message and you're really clear about it, but you're confident about moving forward permanently without looking back. So I'm feeling a deep sense of confidence in who you are and where you're coming. And if you're not feeling it personally, that you'll start seeing these actions take place with permanent changes that are heading you in the right direction. So real beautiful Sagittarius energy. And a lot of this comes from your optimistic personality. Sagittarians have very optimistic personalities compared to a lot of other signs. Real beautiful. They're flying through the sky above everyone else. They're just like, what are you guys doing down there, acting a fool? Sagittarius has got it all dialed in. So anyway, Sag, real beautiful. Wow. I mean, it's making me feel good just doing your reading. So I can really feel the energy of it. Real confident, real beautiful. Let's see here. Your personal attitude in the situation. Attitude is everything, right? So we have the King of Wands in reverse position. The King of Wands in the reverse position is a little bit of... I feel like you might be setting some really high expectations for the situation. And I think the message here is simply to allow these big changes to occur and float with them. And not let your emotions get too hyped on expecting it to be all perfect or grand, but to exert your mastery of the virtue of patience in this process, and kind of like taking a step back and letting yourself get surprised by what beauty comes from it, instead of expecting too much and then being disappointed when it's not quite the mark. You're being gifted a lot of beauty, and I think the important thing here is gratitude. So just focus on gratitude there. In your environment around you, you have the Ace of Wands in reverse. And this is interesting because you have the Ace of Pentacles as a primary. So what's happening is you're being gifted a wonderful opportunity. It's going to move forward quickly, and it's going to be strong and successful. I can see that. There's no doubt about it. Now, that doesn't always mean that everything around you or everyone around you supports that or is on the same page with you. So in this case, with the Ace of Wands in reverse, in your environment around you, the people around you, there's going to be a little bit of chaos or confusion or a lack of clarity in your environment. So this is really important that you're staying focused, like I said, having gratitude, allowing things to occur around you. And this chaos around you could literally be this virus thing where people are at, all the hype and the emotions. You don't want to get swept away in that chaos and keep you from your goal. Your greatest hopes and greatest fears is the Ten of Cups in reverse. Ten of Cups upright is this family celebrating. It's this beautiful pinnacle place in life where the sun's out, the kids are playing, and everyone loves each other, right? Total abundance. So with the Ten of Cups in reverse, it's kind of this feeling that your hopes and fears here is that you're not going to align with something, that something's not going to be what you want it to be. And that's natural. Everybody has those types of fears when they're embarking on a whole new journey, right? So here, the symbolism here with the Chariot and this whole new journey that you're fearful of is really simple, is that at the beginning or end of any day, our shadow is the longest. And the symbology is that at the beginning or the end of any endeavor, we know our greatest hopes and our greatest fears. Our shadow is the longest. But again, the shadow always points to where the sun will rise again. So you don't have to fear about it. But just know that anytime you start a new journey, these fears and concerns are totally natural, and it's okay, and you can just put that within proper context. Now your outcome is just as beautiful as your initial card here. The outcome is the Six of Pentacles. So whatever this is here, and as you become, like I said here, with the King of Pentacles, your spiritual message is that you are able to become that charitable person. The person who becomes charitable is somebody who's been able to master their resources. So this is mental, physical, emotional resources. This is somebody who's been able to master. That's the King of Pentacles. And again, that is the balance between concern and compassion simultaneously at the same time in every moment. That is the master. That's the master, the masculine energy. So it does look like you're going to be able to achieve it. It does look like you're going to be able to really shine with this abundance that you create from within yourself, and also be able to share that either emotionally or materially with others. And this is a card of deep reward and success. This is the masculine energy being manifest in a really beautiful way. So again, I'm just feeling really beautiful about this in general. The only areas of concern, not of concern, but just to be aware of as you go through this process, is not to let your fears get the best of you here in the Ten of Cups, and through this process, and not let the chaos around you in your environment in the world kind of like lead you in the wrong direction. You really need to stay quiet, turn off the media, turn off the news, and really get tuned in to who you are through this process. So anyway, Sagittarius, what can I say? It's beautiful. Here's your totem for the month. King of Pentacles, the master of resources. Keep tuning into that. Appreciate you guys coming by. Street Level Spirituality, Sagittarius, Astro-Tarot, Hangin with May 2020. Thank you very much for coming by. Please like and subscribe. It does help me. I am trying to take this to another level, sharing music and love and support and opportunities with people. And your support definitely does help. If you guys want a tarot reading, if you guys want a Zoom conference call reading, if you want a natal chart, an astrological chart, a compatibility report, and see how you get along with your partner, it's a great gift for you and your partner. You can sit in bed together and read your compatibility report, your relationship report. Just hit me up, streetlevelspirituality@gmail.com. I'll hook you up for, I don't know, 10, 20 bucks, something like that. So website's coming soon. Gonna have some flower essences, all sorts of fun, cool stuff on there. Anything that we can do to bring more spirit into this life, live a more spirited life, right? Not intellectually, but physically spirited, that our spirit, our humor, our joy, our expression comes out. I support that, and I appreciate you guys stopping by and being a part of it. All right, Sagittarius, sending you lots of love. Keep that spirit shining. Whatever you're doing right now is a really beautiful thing. You're really thinking about other people and kind of taking the reins from the inner adversary so you can become a better person out there in the world to be an example for others. All right, guys. Take care, Sagittarius. Good job, guys. Take care. Bye.